Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to a brand new video. I'm currently in my car, my 2019 Ford Fiesta ST-Line. God, even that name sounds really cool. I'm joking, it doesn't. But yeah, so this is my daily car and I've had this now for nearly come up to a year. I think it was April, May I brought this car because my turbo Audi decided to blow up. And I needed to get a car which I could rely on a daily basis, commuting and stuff, and that was just a bit more newer, because my Audi was from 2006, and it was really starting to show its age. So yeah, so today in this video, I'm going to talk about my experience with this car, what I think about it, first thoughts, that kind of thing, and just kind of give you guys a general overview of what this car is about, specs-wise, how it compares to the older generations, that kind of thing. But sit back, relax, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Already. Okay, before I spill coffee on me then. Anyway, this is a 2019 Ford Fiesta ST-Line. I brought it on about 18,000 miles. It's a 3-cylinder, 1-litre EcoBoost engine producing 125 brake horsepower. These cars are known to blow up, so I don't really drive this car to the full potential because I don't want it to blow up. The reason I got this car was, to be honest, I just really like the look of it. I remember I saw this car on a website called Cinch. You've probably heard of Cinch. I've been going to their motor shows. That's when I found out about them. Only because I'd always liked Fiestas. I didn't like them when they first came out, but the new Mark 8 shape really started to grow on me. So I started looking, I say like a year before I even got this, because I know I wanted like a new daily car, and then the Audi happened to blow up, so it was kind of right time, right moment. I managed to get one on finance. I didn't have the cash to buy it. If I were to pay cash for this, it would cost me 15 grand brand new, which I'm lucky I didn't pay cash, because these have now devalued down to like 12, 13 grand, which is not great. And there's a road ahead closed, so we shall go over here. I didn't know this road was closed. This road's quite a nice little leisurely drive. We're now going to have to try and find another way to go, the road I wanted to go, only because I wanted to go on some nice driving roads. But yeah, so it's a 1-litre turbo. The turbo definitely feels responsive. It does like to spool up every 5 minutes. If you put your foot down slightly, it starts to spool up, even at like 3,000, 3,500 RPM. I don't know if that's normal with these cars, but it's not blown up yet, so we'll see like what happens in that. But to be fair, we're on quite a safe road, so I might actually see if I can do 0 to 60. All right, let's try this. We are recording. Here we go. And that's 60. I will put timings on because I'm not sure how long that was. It felt pretty long, to be fair. It definitely feels like a responsive engine. You can tell it's a 1-litre. I mean, I've come from a 2-litre turbo to a 1-litre turbo. Like I said, I didn't buy this car for the performance. I bought this car just to be a commutable car, which I can just, you know, drive to work 5 days a week and I don't have to worry about and stuff. But the thing is, like, if you do want to overtake on a motorway, then like you're going to be able to. It might take a little bit longer. You might have to drop a gear and disappear, but you are able to. Like my first car, when I once went to overtake a Nissan Micra, the Nissan Micra put its foot down and just embarrassed me. So yeah, that was quite interesting. I haven't taken this car for a service yet, so I don't know how much the engine is going to cost a service and the car in general. I'm planning on doing that. It's going to be like a £400 service if I follow the Ford plan. And because this car is on finance, I want to make sure to follow that. So when I come to trade this car in, I can get, you know, the most value for it as I can, you know, following the service plan and stuff. And my Audi, I didn't service my Audi. It's really bad, but I drove 2 years without servicing it. I did the oil change and that kind of thing myself, but when it came to like an actual service, I didn't actually do it. And I do regret that massively. So if you have got a car of some nice caliber, do service it. Traffic is moving very slow down here. I'm not sure why, but yeah. I was going to try and sync up all the GoPros to while I'm driving, but the GoPros, I might or might not have forgotten to pack my SD cards. But yeah, no, the engine was all right. Like I said, there's been a lot of cases in the UK of the Mark 7, 7.5 and 8s blowing up. But to be fair, from what I've heard, it's from people not changing cam belts and ragging the shit out of their car, which I will not be doing with this car. Yeah, it's not much to say about the engine really. I'm probably going to see if they can change the spark plugs as well, because I've heard some people say that the spark plugs have shot or something like that when they've had this car, that kind of thing. So I'm definitely going to see if I can get them to change it. It might already be included in the service, but I'm going to do a service video because I'm spending all this money. I might as well document it. So I don't know when it's going to happen, but it will happen at some point. Again, this is bloody cyclist. I don't want to hit him. So looks this car. So I got the all black with grey wheels, which is the colour I wanted anyway, and I really like the look of it. When it cleans up, the paint looks really nice. The paintwork on this car was nice anyway when I got it. It was one thing I was quite concerned about from buying with Cinch, is that there might be a few scratches and stuff. But so far, from what I can see on the body, the paintwork is in really good nick. And I really, really, really like the kind of body kit detail of the ST line. Compared to the normal Fiestas, this doesn't look as basic as that. This does look a bit sporty. I don't like how high the suspension is. There's quite a big suspension gap on the wheels. Not sure why that is, but it doesn't look that great. So I've seen that lowering springs is quite a common mod to do on these cars, and you can get them for like 200 quid and they do look quite nice. Yeah, but it's got like an inbuilt front splitter. It's got a little bit of a lip on the back of the spoiler, little side skirts, and it just looks nice. I wasn't really the biggest fan of the shape of the Mark 7 and 7.5s, only because it looks quite pointy. Now, don't get me wrong, I've seen some really, really, really tastefully modified Mark 7 7.5 STs, but I just wasn't really a big fan of them. So when they announced the Mark 8, I was a bit worried about what it was going to look like. And when I saw it first, I was like, I don't like that. It's a Supra. I didn't like it at first, but as I saw different variants, different colours and stuff, I was like, do you know what? I actually really like this. So yeah, and I mean, Max didn't do a body kit like every car. It looks nice. I've seen a photo of this colour with a Maxim body kit and it looks really nice. But the thing is, I'm not sure if I'm actually going to modify this car at all. Like I said, it's a daily car. I bought it for a day. My money at some point needs to go back into fixing my Audi, or at least selling that car, and then this will become the all-rounder car. But it's also because it's on finance and the price of insurance is going up. There's so many factors which can kind of hinder the thought of modifying a car, especially to quite a high degree in terms of body, look, suspension, that kind of thing. A lot of people are probably wondering, why didn't I go for the Fiesta ST? Like I said before, as a commuter car, the reason I didn't go for that one is because I wanted to get good MPG. I've gone from spending 100 quid a week in fuel to spending 35, which is an insane drop. That's like only, what's that, 140 a month in fuel if I'm working 5 days a week. And that's exactly what I wanted from a car. So the reason, I would have loved a Fiesta ST, but right now when I'm working in London, I can't afford to be spending a stupid amount on fuel. And I've heard, the 1.5 litre turbos are quite eco-friendly, but I just wanted to take a safe bet, get a smaller engine and get a smaller turbo and just get good fuel. A full tank in this bad boy costs around £50, which ain't bad considering like how bad fuel has been recently. And you get roughly 300 to 350 miles out of that, which I know isn't anything compared to diesels or hybrid petrol cars, but for a little run around like this, yeah, it is really good. I say it's a run around, it's not a run around, it's a commuting car. But yeah, and that's an M4 with no front number plate. Interesting. Another reason I brought this car is for every car I've been through and I have always wanted Apple CarPlay. I've always wanted the ease of having Spotify on your screen, having Waze, taking calls, using Siri, that kind of thing. And yeah, I'm really, really happy that I actually got it, because I can say now, Apple CarPlay is one of the best interfaces you can get on a car. It's really nice. It's really smooth, really responsive. The screen looks really good. Every time someone's been in this car who's not had Apple CarPlay, they've actually like complimented it, saying it's really nice. Even Android Auto looked nice. I tested my work phone here and it looked really good. And yeah, like the tech in this car is just really nice. It's quite a simple one. There's not many metrics you can follow, like, I don't know, you see a lot of cars nowadays for some reason have G-force in it, but obviously this car wouldn't. You've got lots of different trip computers. There's a digital dash as well. Not digital dash. There's a little digital screen in the middle of the dash which you can set to doing custom things. So MPG, miles left, average MPG, speed, that kind of thing. and I've got it right now set to speed so I can keep an eye on what I'm going, because where my steering position is, I can't actually see the top end of the speedo, which ain't great. I say top end, the middle range of like 70 to 80, so when I'm going down M3, I don't really want to be speeding and get caught, that kind of thing. Talking about interfaces, this has the standard set of the forward speakers, and oh my god, for a standard set of speakers, they sound really good. Don't get me wrong, you can get Bang & Olufsen sets in some of the upper models, but the bass isn't that great compared to some other more premium systems I've heard. But the mids and highs are really nice, you can hear people really clear. I could notice the difference straight away when I went from my Audi to my Ford. Just the fact that, like, you know, it's a lot more clearer, the mids are really nice. And the thing is, if I really, really, really wanted a lot of like bassiness, I'll just install a subwoofer. And the really good thing about that is, if you do want to install a subwoofer and you want to run it into, like, you know, like an audio, like a converter, people make cables which will fit in between your screen, your Apple CarPlay and the car system. So you don't actually have to splice any cables, don't have to fuck around with anything. You can just make it work, and it's really cool, and I really, really rate it. I've seen some people who've got subs in their Fiestas, and they've spent like days on end fixing it. Then when they've come to hand it back in, they have to rip all the cabling out, it rips all the trim, that kind of thing. They fuck the cables in the back of the head unit, it's just not great. So at one point I do want to do that, but again, it's like another 500 quid to spend in this car, which, you know, with being an adult and stuff, and, you know, earning a normal wage in the UK, 500 quid is a lot of money, and it's the money I kind of want to spend or invest in other things before I get a subwoofer and become a massive boy racer again. One thing that did confuse me was, why do Ford do cars with a speed limiter and not cruise control? And I think I figured it out. So this car has just a limiter, and I personally think a limiter is actually better than a cruise control. What I can do is, if I'm on a 40 road around my area, I can set it to 40, and I never have to worry about going over the speed limit. When you've got cruise control, you've got to turn it on and off again. The speed limiter is always on, which I think is really, really good, because it means that you don't have to worry about turning on and off again. You don't have to worry about speeding too much, because you feel the car slow down. If you mash your foot down, it will cut out the speed limiter, because it could be safety. You know, if you've got to suddenly get out of the way and you mash your foot down, the speed limiter will turn off, you know, which I think is a really good safety feature. And it makes a lot of sense, because that was one thing I'm worried about. Was if I've got a speed limiter and I need to suddenly speed up, what am I going to do? But yeah, no, I'm a really, really, really big fan of it, and I heavily rate it. This car has all the funky buttons you would get on a steering wheel. You know, it's got a cancel, resume, changing the speed limit up and down, volume up, volume down, mute. Change tracks, it can take calls. You've got the menu buttons on the steering wheel, so when you're going on your digital menu in the car, you can actually see what you're doing without having to take your eyes off the road too much. When it came to insuring this car, I have been driving for 6 years, so I was expecting more of a low price, and this came down to £900 for the year, which ain't too bad with the kind of last year insurance costs stuff, that all that rising bullshit happened. And I used all the tips I'd use in my insurance video to get the cheapest insurance possible. And yeah, you know, it's not bad. I've seen people quoted, you know, $2 or $3 grand for this car, but a lot of people will buy these as their first or second car, and because they are turbos, and because a lot of boy racers do crash these cars, the insurance is quite high on these for those kind of people. But then again, my 2-litre turbo Audi, which is like nearly double the speed of this, was only £450 for the year. So yeah, but then also this is like triple the value of that car as well, because that car was only worth about £5 grand. When it comes to drivability in this car, I would say for a stock little Ford setup, it does handle corners really well, and I am kind of nearly understeering here, but I took that quite tight. But it does handle, like, you know, cornering really well. The suspension is quite soft, it's not too hard. You never feel like you're going to lose traction if you're going over bumpy roads at high speeds. And it's just all around nice setup. I have heard that Fords do have quite nice suspensions anyway in their cars, so it's quite nice to have a car which is like got nice suspension for once, because my Audi, oh my god, those springs are soft as shit and it would understeer everywhere, and because it's quattro, you couldn't put your foot down round corners or coming out to corners, because it would just understeer and you'd end up spinning out. I spun out twice in that car when I first got it, and it was wet, and it was very scary. That might have been a driver error. It probably was, actually, thinking about it. But yeah, not many plans for this car, to be honest. I have made like a full modification list of what I'll do if I just had the money, and as like body kit, exhaust, that kind of thing. But the thing is, for a car which has only got 125 horsepower, I don't want it to look kind of like modified, if that makes sense, because there's nothing more embarrassing than like being beaten by like some random fucking bloke in a people carrier because your car's like dead slow. You know, I don't really want to do that. And if I have a modified car that looks modified, I want it to be able to go quick, because I'd rather do power over looks, to be honest. Like I said, you can stage 1 map these cars, but the thing is, the stage 1 map goes up to 140 brake, which is not going to be a noticeable difference for like £500. Is like, what's the point of that? You do a stage 1 on like an M140i and M4, and you're getting like, you know, 60, 70, 80, even 100 brake more horsepower. So doing it on a car like this, it's just pointless, because at this moment I am regular traffic, you know, I am regular traffic. Yeah, no, this car's on 30,000 miles right now, and I'm excited to see how this next year goes. Not sure when I'm going to trade in to go up to a better car for finance, that kind of thing, because I think I'm just going to get a different car in finance. I don't have the money right now to sink into a car. Just all around a decent car. I just wanted to make this video to be a quick little overview of this car while using quite a nice setup, using a nice mic, that kind of thing. Cheers for work for letting me borrow this. That's about it, really. I've been recording for 20 minutes now. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this bit of a different video. I'm not sat in my office chair for now, but if you did enjoy it, please do make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment your favourite thing about Fiestas, and if you hate them, why do you hate them, you know? I quite like this Fiesta. I think it's quite nice. It doesn't look very similar to the older Fiestas, the boy racer ones. But anyway, like usual, I'm waffling now, so I'm going to shut the frick up. I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.